Today I'm going to look at the relationship between the menstrual cycle and weight loss. Now, obviously, it's not something I personally have to deal with. I don't actually claim to be an expert on this at all, and if I'm perfectly honest, I'm not overly comfortable talking about it because I'm a bloke. But I know it's something that happens to a lot of my clients. Some of you guys have to deal with, so I thought I'd try to explain why what happens, and in our case, we're talking about weight gain as opposed to anything else really, and how you might be able to manage that and deal with it. So the menstrual cycle, again, I'm not trying to tell you stuff you know already, but it lasts 28 days, and there's four kind of phases of it. So phase one is menstruation, phase two is your follicular phase, phase three is ovulation, and then phase four is your luteal phase. Now, there's different things happening in all these phases, different hormones interact and whatever else. So phase one, menstruation, this is where your estrogen levels actually drop and your progesterone goes down as well. And that triggers a shedding of the uterine lining. This is your period. Now, this contributes to a transient fluid retention time, and occasionally you'll get cravings as well. Again, I'm probably telling you stuff you already know. Now, any weight gain you get here actually is just from water retention. There's no extra fat being stored, or not significant amounts anyway. Now obviously, if you are craving and you're giving into those cravings, there may be a bit, but most of the weight that you gain at this time will actually just be through extra fluid retention, water retention. Your next phase, your follicular phase, and this is days 6 to 14 generally, this is when your estrogen levels go up. Now, this is when you tend to get more energy and a bit more kind of like vitality, and this is where you're ready to go. Now, the bad thing is it only lasts for about 7 days. So this is a time when you can really kind of get into your exercise and you're probably really highly motivated and you're kind of like, ready for anything. But that's only 7 days. Now, phase three is the ovulation, and this is around about day 14 of the cycle. And this is when you get even more estrogen. You get a big surge in estrogen at this point. And this is where you may get sort of fluctuation in weight, which is more to do with the hormonal shifts than anything else. This isn't actually not every experiences this, and the whole cycle is different for everybody. Again, you know this better than I do, but some people see that weight fluctuate quite a lot at that time. Now, the next phase is the luteal phase, and this is the longest part. This is about 14 days long. So your estrogen starts dropping, your progesterone starts increasing, and this is where you get the classic symptoms like the bloating, the mood variations, food cravings, things like this. And this is where you do get sort of quite large fluctuations in your weight again. And again, most of this is actually from the water retention and from the increased appetite that you've got. So bear in mind that 19 days out of that 28 day cycle, your hormones are actively causing water retention and cravings. Okay, so this is why it's really important that you hit your 2 litres per day target for your water. Because I know it sounds mad, but by drinking more water, you actually reduce your water retention because your body kind of like just helps to sort of, it triggers a response to get rid of it. So what can you do about it? This thing, you all know what's happening. You all know probably everything that I've just said. That's probably not that interesting to you, but what you guys want to know is how do you deal with it, how do you fix it, how do you make it as bearable as possible, and minimise the weight gain, if you like. And bear in mind, most of the weight gain is water, not actual fat, so don't worry about that too much. But I appreciate that it's demoralising and demotivating when you see the scales maybe not move or move the wrong way. So primarily, first thing, optimal hydration. So adequate water intake regulates your body functions. It reduces bloating, which obviously you get with the fluctuations in your hormones, and it also helps maintain your electrolyte balance, which in turn helps alleviate water retention. Now, herbal teas like peppermint, dandelion, they're actually diuretics, so they promote the flushing out of excess fluids and they reduce the bloating. So if you can bring those sort of herbal teas into your routine, especially during the luteal phase, that's sort of the latter end of the cycle, if you like, that can really help with bloating and things like this. So you should aim for your 2 litres of water every single day. You should do that regardless of where you are on the cycle. You should do it every day, and that should be just a habit that is just ingrained in you. If you can incorporate those herbal teas like peppermint, dandelion root, and things like this, a couple of days a week, or a couple of times every day throughout that period, then that can help with the bloating. Again, that doesn't work for everybody. But it is something that is pretty well implemented. So give that a go. On top of this, we've got our nutrition. So if you can select really healthy foods during your menstrual cycle, nutrient-rich foods, that can really help manage your cravings and also obviously providing the vitamins and minerals that you need. Now, I hope by this point that you have already got a very good diet or a nutrition plan, your fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and because then obviously you're getting like the full spectrum, all the nutrients and fibre that keep you full and keep your energy levels nice and stable. But there's another thing it should be trying to include as well, and that's magnesium-rich foods. So these things like spinach and nuts, or even a magnesium supplement would help. Because actually this is really good for alleviating premenstrual symptoms like mood swings and bloating. The way that works is because magnesium has been shown to do quite a lot. It's a little bit of a super mineral, if you like. So it helps to to improve muscle relaxation. So this could at least cause things like less cramps if that's something that you suffer with. It also regulates your serotonin levels, so it kind of like stabilizes your mood. It aids in fluid balance, so it reduces water retention, and it can potentially regulate your hormone levels. So all of this will obviously lead to a partial relief or reduction at least from sort of premenstrual discomfort, and obviously improve your overall well-being during that part of your menstrual cycle. Now, there is an argument for doing more exercise during your menstrual cycle as well, if only for the sort of the serotonin and dopamine kind of release that you get from doing that, for the mood swings and that kind of thing. In terms of regulating hormones and stuff, I don't think it does an awful lot. Some people say it does, but personally, I'm not behind it. The big things is the hydration and your nutrient choices. If you can get both of those on point, increase your magnesium intake, increase your water intake, bring in those dandelion teas and the peppermint teas, they can really help alleviate those symptoms and maybe sort of keep you on track a little bit more. Any weight that you do put on during your menstrual cycle pretty much is transient. Most of it is just fluid. So you do sort of see the scales go up and down a little bit like this during this time. It's not really anything to panic about. As long as the bigger picture, as long as you're seeing it come down over the course of months, then you're still on the right track. So don't beat yourself up about that.